So in this segment, we're going to be talking about the Home Office's bizarre spending during the last year on some of the items. So this article written for the Byline Times, who do some really good work. Honestly, it's some phenomenal stuff here. And it's bizarre what the Home Office have been spending the taxpayers' money on, and so we'll talk about that now. So the Home Office failed to explain a number of strange expenses filed by the department in 2020. So migrant rights campaigner Mary Atkinson posted a thread on Twitter revealing some head-scratching entries into the Home Office expenses logs. Basically, I'm baffled, Atkins said after posting the thread. I'm guessing more than one person has been accidentally using their work credit card for personal spending. I think a question for the Home Office on whether they repaid the money would be reasonable, added Gemma Abbott, legal director of the Good Law Project. And I don't know if the Good Law Project are going to get involved in this one, but let's look at this. They've spent 600. This is on one day. They spent £669 at Rachel's Kitchen Limited. This is the firm that owns Rachel's cupcake brand. So what did you buy? Why are the Home Office buying kitchen supplies from this random company that's a limited company, which is relatively, these are relatively smaller and can't give, you're spending £669 on kitchen equipment. Like, why? They spent £5,000 in Primark, which the Home Office claim is for asylum seekers and migrants who don't have good clothing, which is fair enough. But do you have receipts for £5,000? And then why are you spending £850 on one day in Sports Direct? And also, shouldn't the spending on migrant clothes be spread out through the year, not in 1 month? So that doesn't make sense. The £850 in Sports Direct, that doesn't make sense. This one, another weird one, Hair There and Everywhere, appears to be a hairdressing salon, £864. Why is someone at the Home Office spending money getting their hair done? It don't make sense. This one's an egregious one. £30,000 on Global Beauty Products Limited. People are joking that this is for Priti Patel's eyebrows. But no, sorry, this one isn't about Priti Patel's eyebrows. This one is a company that sells protective equipment, but is predominantly a beauty company, which again is another limited company. Like, surely if you need to buy PPE, you could bulk buy in boxes, large amounts of things like masks, gloves, face masks, etc. Those plastic screens, etc. Like, why are you buying from a limited company? It doesn't make sense. And also, I don't know if that a contract like this, a purchase like this, would go to open tender because it's £30,000. They spent £2,000 at Neptune Q Tirane. That's probably not how you pronounce it, which appears to be an electronic store in Albania. Like, why is someone from the Home Office going to Albania to an electronics store to buy £2,000 worth of goods? Like, what is going on there? Folkestone Garden Centre, they spent £1,000. I assume that's on plants, maybe office plants. But in March, why? Again, why? Almost £4,000 at a restaurant. Why? Why is taxpayers' money going on this? £1,000, almost £1,000 on entertainment. 77k at SP Beautiful Eyebrows. The company appears to be run by Global Beauty Products. Why are you spending this money? At a beauty parlor or wherever this place is. I don't understand. Another £4,000 at the same restaurant, Polyana restaurant. Taxpayers' money. £900 at a pub. £2,000 at Claudia Lamb Independent, who looks as if she's a diet consultant. Why are the Home Office spending money on diet consultants? What? I don't get it. I don't know what's going on here, and it's very confusing. I'm genuinely perplexed by this. The Byline Times asked the Home Office for a comment, and the Home Office said departmental spending must be conducted in accordance with agreed policies, justified and properly scrutinised. So what does that mean? You told us your policy, but have these amounts that have been spent been agreed? Are these agreed with existing policies, justified, and have they been properly scrutinised? It appears to suggest that in the case above, the department does not know whether the spending met its criteria. If it had been satisfied, it surely would have said so. Like, that's a good point. Surely you'd have been like, yeah, it met our spending criteria. Bye bye. I don't know. No, the outlay. Talking about another amount spent, £124,000. I think this is the full amount, £124,000. Also chimes in with the government's approach during the pandemic as a whole, which is just spend whatever you want on your mates, don't care. The UK's budget for PPE and test and trace, for example, is a staggering 52 billion combined, while the government has allocated 15 billion to spend on gloves, masks, and sanitizer. The National Audit Office said, had it done stockpiling properly, it would have only cost 2.5 billion. So the taxpayer would have saved about 12.5 billion if the government actually planned properly for this pandemic. But we can't expect anyone that's proactive or even reactive, hardly reactive, considering it takes them so long to goddamn react to what's going on. However, there have been few repercussions for the government, with no suggestion that nurses are having their wages limited precisely because ministers overspent during the pandemic. Also, the fact that the Conservatives claim that the Labour Party maxed out the credit card in the 2008 financial crash. They've been spending the money left, right, and centre. So it's a bit of an odd, it's a bit of an odd way to be so fiscally conservative when you've been dishing out money left and right. So clearly Labour didn't max out the credit cards, and if it's anything, you've come way closer to that if that's what you genuinely believe, if that's your economic philosophy. While there is little difference between spending 15 billion on PPE and 900 at a posh pub in Oxford, that I'm sure was very nice, I bet it was, there does seem to be a general apathy in government towards journalists and activists who scrutinise its investments, and an air of impunity around decisions. So basically that the government, they don't care how they spend the money, and if you question it, they don't like you very much for doing it, which, isn't a surprise. There is, a bit of an addition here, an update from the Home Office, which claims fact check, the government fact checking an independently written article when, they're not an official fact check organisation. It is wrong to claim the Home Office expenses have been circulated today are the Home Secretary. So, they're saying that, Priti Patel didn't spend this money. They are, department wide and vital for equipment like PPE. And it's completely false to say the Home Office has spent money on beauty products. It was PPE. So why are you buying from a beauty place then? Why are you buying from a company that predominantly deals in beauty products? Surely you would go to a PPE wholesaler. Like what? We make no apology for buying PPE to keep our staff safe during the pandemic. We're not criticising you for buying PPE to keep your staff safe. We're criticising you on where you bought it from because you evidently overpaid. Ridiculous. The Primark spending was for asylum seekers who did not have appropriate clothing, like I mentioned before. We're committed to delivering the best value for money for the British taxpayer. But again, why was this filed in September? Surely it would be, month on month. And also, how much are you spending in Primark? Like, how much clothing are you buying from Primark? To spend $5,000 in Primark, it's crazy, the amount they're spending. The Home Office, I don't know what they're doing, and I hope they get audited soon because we're going to see a lot more of this sort of stuff come out. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.